I think for all men, happiness comes at the end of an achievement, whatever that achievement may be. I think that's why men conquered the earth, and that's why they risked their lives to go to Antarctica or climb Mount Everest, right? You had to have some achievement. That's what makes men happy. I am happy with my life, but I would also be happy if I was broke. If I lost all my money tomorrow, I'd still be happy. I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with how I think. I genuinely wake up and look in the mirror and I'm happy with everything about me. I'm happy with how I look, how I think, what I've done. I'm happy. I'm a genuinely contented individual. So it's not about girls or money. I mean, that's just a bonus of being an extremely high performing man, right? Of course I have girls and money, but I'm happy. Yeah, I'm absolutely content with who I am. And I think I'm living a fantastic existence. And if I lost everything tomorrow, I know I'd get it all back. So I'm completely happy. I don't believe in sad. Sad does not cross my mind. It's not on my spectrum of emotions. I'm either happy or I'm angry. Yeah, I'll get pissed off, but the more angry I am, the more work I get done, the more money I make. So it's not a big deal to be angry, right? Anger is a natural masculine emotion, but
yeah, sadness is just kind of admitting defeat and
I can't remember the last time I was sad. It doesn't cross my mind. I'm either happy or perhaps pissed off. But I laugh every day. I live with my best friends and I have a good life. Yeah. I genuinely do not understand a man who processes sadness or depression. I think those are feminine emotions. And I think a man is either happy or angry. And if you're truly angry, that's all the motivation you need to change something. If you're really mad about a situation, you're going to change it. There's no room for sad. Do you think the people in the trenches in World War II had room to be, in World War I had time to be sad? It doesn't cross your mind. You're either fighting or you're just playing cards and making jokes. You have to survive and live. And I'm a very happy person. You couldn't make me sad if you tried. Like you can't even really affect my mentality if you tried. I'm a very contented person.
You're tired. You don't want to work. You want to go to sleep and just relax. You do it fucking anyway.
And sorry to interrupt again,
No,
but that is the most basic imperative of the masculine frame, which has been destroyed in real time. They are trying to convince you that you should act how you feel. You should show more of your feelings. If you feel this way, you should show it. If you want to cry, cry. Look, I have no problem with guys crying. Sometimes guys cry, right? My dad died, I cried. I've cried once in 10 years, but it's not a default emotion for me. Sometimes you cry, right? But what I'm saying is the reason they're trying to bring out emotionality in you is because of exactly what Myron said. Most of the time, you don't feel like doing the things you're supposed to do. But the true masculine frame throughout history was doing the things they didn't want to do, but they knew they had to do because they had honor and duty. That's what honor and duty means. Do you think the men on the Titanic wanted to stay on the fucking Titanic? No, we're men. We have to stay. We're scared, but we must. It's our duty to let the women and children on the lifeboats. Yeah. This is masculine duty. When you remove self-control from men, you get not only do you get emasculated weak men, but you also get is very dangerous men, because the world at large is trying to tell you, just be more in touch with your feelings and everything's going to be fine. Men also have an innate desire, one, for conquest, and two, we have a biological response. We are very predispositioned to anger. You look at all these school shooters and shit. These are men who can't control their emotions. That's all they are.
Facts.
They have no self-control. And then they go and do dangerous shit. A good man controls himself. I have absolute self-control. If I decide to smash your face in, it was a very conscious decision. Nothing to do with the fact I was angry. If I decide to shoot you in the face, it's a conscious decision. It's the best move on the chessboard. There's no anger involved. You understand? Emotional control is absolutely and utterly important as a man. Now, I'm not saying become a stoic dork, have no personality, be a boring fuck. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you need to understand as a man, there are certain principles under which you act regardless of how you feel.
Bam.
Anything that can emotionally affect you can steal your power. If you allow a woman to make you angry, she can control you. Maybe she can only control you in one direction, but she can control you. She can say X words and you'll react X way. You've given her a control mechanism. You've given her a way to affect you. Indifference is the absolute weapon against female. Is femality a word? Femality?
Formality?
I don't know.
Femaleness, femininity.
Femality. Indifference is the absolute weapon to femality, against femality. Because if she can control you, of course you have to be zen. Because you can't allow things to make you angry, because then she can control you. I'll give you an example of how women think very quickly. When I was fighting, every single girl I was dating they behave most of the time. But when it was 3 or 4 days before a fight and I was on edge and I was nervous and I was weight depleted, I'd lost like 5 or 6 kilos. I haven't eaten in 3 days. I haven't drunk water. I'm tired. I'm on edge. I can't sleep. When I was most vulnerable to bullshit, they'd all try and start some bullshit.
Pile on, yeah.
And I'd say to them, I'd sit there and say, I'm about to get in the cage and I could die. People die. I could die in the cage if you distract me from my upcoming fight with this bullshit about dirty plate. Do you really think now's the time to argue? Well, I'm just saying, I've said before about the plate. They don't give a fuck if you die in the cage. They don't give a fuck if you die. They want an argument because they want to affect you emotionally. Once you're susceptible to emotional affection, they're going to come at you. So, I mean, at the time, all I had to do was just get rid of them, stay calm, kick them out the house, and just ignore them. And after the fight, bang a bunch of ring girls, watch them cry and beg for me back. But the point is this: if you're always the guy that they can emotionally affect, then they're going to do it like a cat with a fucking string for fun, like a puppet. Let me make his life good today. I'll be really nice to him. Tomorrow, let me make up an argument. Let me just fuck with him. He's at work. Let me just make up some bullshit. Let me fuck with his day. Da 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 da. It's all a game. It's the soap opera we were talking about. Ha da 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 da. You got to be zen to it all. If a girl messages you some bullshit, okay, or just don't reply. You got to be so zen that they're like, well, he doesn't give a fuck. The only way he shows he gives a fuck is if I behave so perfectly that he starts giving me attention. When I cook and clean and I suck dick and I'm quiet and I behave so perfectly, then he starts to talk to me a lot more. But otherwise, he's completely uninterested in me. That's the only way. If you're going to allow women to annoy you, if you're going to start screaming, bitch, you better shut up, bitch. If you're going to start doing that shit, she's just going to play with you all day long because they love a soap opera. Chicks love a soap opera. That's why you'll say, like, a woman will be with an abusive man and you'll see her shouting at him, fuck you. She still, you can beat her up. She doesn't care.
Back. Yeah.
She doesn't care. She doesn't care. She wants the fun of it all. She wants the drama of it all. I know that's going to send the world into a tailspin.
Well, women would rather cry over an asshole than be saddled with a boring, than bored.
To a woman, except bore her. This is the bottom line. This is why they like funny guys. Funny ain't enough anymore.